All right, friends. So today we're going to go ahead and read Zach Makes Mistakes. Zach was excited for his class field trip to the museum. He could hardly wait to see the bison display. But as he walked into the classroom, he realized he had made a big mistake. Oh no, he had forgotten to wear his orange school shirt. Students were supposed to wear them on field trips. He asked his teacher, Miss Rosamond, if he could call his mom. His teacher let him use her cell phone, but Zach's mom was already at work. Sorry, Mom said, I can't bring your t-shirt to school. Does that mean I have to stay at school while you guys go on the field trip? Zach asked Miss Rosamond. No, Miss Rosamond said, I have an extra shirt. It's a little big, but it's better than nothing. Zach's best friend Sonia tried to cheer him up. Everyone makes mistakes, she said. Easy for you to say. Zach said, you're not wearing a big, ugly tent to the field trip. Sonia told Zach about the time she made a huge mistake by dressing up for her friend's birthday party in a Halloween costume instead of her dress-up clothes. I thought dress up meant wearing a costume. Zach laughed thinking about Sonia wearing a costume at a fancy party. By the time they got to the museum, he felt a little bit better. Before they went inside, Miss Rosamond reminded everyone to listen to the guide. Be polite, listen carefully, and don't interrupt, she said. The guide's name was Tim. He told them about some of the cool exhibits they would see that day. He also reminded them to follow the rules. Suddenly, a cell phone rang. I'm so sorry, Miss Rosamond said, reaching into her purse. She quickly turned it off. Zach felt embarrassed for her. When the presentation ended, Miss Rosamond talked to Tim. I'm really sorry about that, she said. I forgot to turn off my phone. Tim told her it was okay. The museum was even more awesome than Zach thought it would be. He saw moon rocks, he saw Blackfoot Indian clothing and a collection of weird bugs and butterflies. Best of all, he saw American bison running across a prairie. The bison looked so alive and soft, he reached across the rope and put his hand on one of them. Hey, Tim called, no touching. Zach pulled his hand back. How embarrassing. He wished he could hide in a closet until the trip was over. When it was time for lunch, Zach sat next to Miss Rosamond. I feel awful when I mess up, he confided. I know what you mean, his teacher replied. When I forgot to turn off my cell phone, I felt pretty foolish. Zach nodded. But, she went on, I've learned to deal with my mistakes and move on. I wish I could learn to move on. How do I do it? Miss Rosamond smiled and showed him what was on her necklace. This is the key to mistakes. Take a look. 3 words were engraved on the loops of the handle. Detect, correct, reflect. The stem of the key had words too. Nobody's perfect. Miss Rosamond said, when I was young, mistakes made me feel very bad, like I was a failure. My grandma helped me see how to learn from mistakes and feel better about them. Then she had this key made to help me remember. The first thing is to detect your mistake, to find the reason for it. Miss Rosamond said, mistakes are made by not understanding something, by not paying attention, or by not being careful, which was the reason for your mistake. I wasn't paying attention when I didn't put on the school shirt. I also wasn't paying attention when I broke the no touching rule. Miss Rosamond said, my mistake was for not being careful. I thought I turned off my phone, but I didn't. Zach remembered Sonia's story and laughed. He told his teacher how she wore a costume to a dress-up party. Her mistake was from not understanding. Sounds like you get the detect part, Miss Rosamond said. Miss Rosamond said, the next loop on the key says correct. Zach said, when Tim told me no touching, I stopped. Exactly. And when my phone rang, I turned it off right away, and I apologized to Tim. There's lots of ways to correct a mistake. But wait, Zach said, when I tried to call my mom to bring my shirt, she was already at work. I couldn't fix that mistake. He looked down at his huge orange shirt. At least you found this, he said. Sometimes you can't fix a mistake, but it's important to try, his teacher said, and sometimes you need a little help. The last loop on the key says reflect, Miss Rosamond said. That means look back at your mistakes and think about it. When I look back at my mistakes, I feel awful, Zach said. I try to forget them. Well, said Miss Rosamond, instead of focusing on your negative feeling, how bad you felt, try thinking about what you'll learn from your mistakes. That's something positive that can happen. For instance, I bet you learn to think ahead more when you're getting ready for school, especially on a field trip day.